welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing something that I'm so excited for, and I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup using all Colourpop makeup. I have a whole bunch of Colourpop makeup that I bought with my own money. Anyone that knows me knows that I absolutely love Colourpop. Like, the obsession is real. One, they're super affordable and they're very pigmented, very good quality for what you're paying for. And especially their eyeshadows, their pressed eyeshadows have changed my life. Like, I just absolutely love them. They're one of the things that I use the most on myself as well as on clients. I'm really excited for this video today, and I don't want to talk too much because this video is going to be a talk through video, so I do have a lot of things to show you guys and whatnot. So I thought, since we're in the month of December, I would do a holiday look using Colourpop makeup. So if you guys want to see how to recreate this look as well as hear some of my thoughts on some products that I'm going to be trying out for the first time, then continue watching. As you guys can see from the intro as well as right now, I have absolutely no makeup on. I'm going to start off with a new product for me, something that I was hesitant on getting, not because I've heard bad things about the actual product, but because I've heard bad things about the packaging. So I did get the Colourpop Amethyst Crystal Priming Spray. So I think this is the one that's for oily skin. And then I also got the setting spray as well. This is the Aquamarine, but this is the one for, like, if you want dewy skin, because they didn't have the one for oily skin and they didn't have the one for dewy skin in this. So I had to get what they had. I'm going to start off with the priming spray, and I hear really bad things about the sprayer. Oh my god, yeah, it's really bad. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take the sprayer part of my e.l.f. setting spray, and I'm going to use that for this. And I already made sure that it's clean, has nothing in it at all. Okay, yeah, this works. It fits perfectly in here. So, ooh. Don't shake it like that. Shake it like this. It does say to shake well. Yes, it's shake gently, hold at arm length from your beautiful face and spray. P.S. Don't spray directly in mouth or eyes. So I'm gonna do arm's length. That other one was like, oh, that was bad, very bad. So this sprayer sucks, but if you have like any other one, like the e.l.f. one, use that. So I do feel kind of uncomfortable because I am not using a pore filling primer, which is always what I do because I do have really bad pores right here in my T-zone, but it is all good. And then they don't have eyeshadow primer, so instead I'm going to be using one of my favorite products ever, which is the No Filter Concealer. I already owned this concealer. If you can see here, I've used it up quite a bit. And I do have a backup because I know that I'm going to be running out of this soon. And I don't want to be like midway doing my concealer and running out. So I do have a backup of this. I am in the shade Golden 40. And I would say that these concealers are very similar. MAC has this concealer that was called, I think, the Mineralized Concealer. Like, it's the consistency of that with the coverage of Pro Longwear. And usually I am NC 42. And I feel like this is a really good match. When you first look at it, it looks really light. But as soon as you put it onto your face, I feel like it oxidizes and it turns a little bit darker. So I would say when I first look at this, it looks like it's an NC 40, which I had the concealer before. Actually, no, it looks like an NC 30, to be quite honest. But as soon as I put it on my face, it oxidizes and turns into that perfect shade, which is like an NC 42. Just so you guys kind of have some reference, because I know that online it's really hard to shop sometimes, especially based off the swatches. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on my eyes to prime my eyes. Probably should have done this afterwards, but whatever. So for brows, I'm going to use their brow pencil. I do have two different ones. I wanted to talk about both of them really quickly. So I have the Brow Boss pencil as well as the other Precision brow pencil that they came out with. So both of them look like this. The top one is Brow Boss and the bottom one is the Precision brow pencil. And then I have this one in dark brown and this one's in Bangin brunette. So the difference between both of them is definitely formula. I feel like this is more of a drier cream to powder type of finish, while this is very creamy. So if you want more bold, intense, but precise brows, I'd go with the Precision brow pencil. If you want something more natural and but still precise, then I would go with the Brow Boss pencil, which is what I'm going to be using today. At first, when I first tried it, I noticed that it was very dry, but once I got used to using it, I felt like it was not bad. It does come with quite a bit of product. I think this comes with the same exact amount as the Brow Wiz. I think it definitely does come with a good amount of product. It's only $5, which is really, really good. So as you see there, it was a little harder to come up with pigmentation. And then with this one, this is the brow pencil, and it's very, very creamy. Like I said, this is in the shade Bangin Brunette, and you see it's very pigmented and it's very, very dark. Alright, so here is the brow pencil. And that's the Brow Boss pencil. I still probably have a lot in here. The only thing I hate about it is it's not like retractable, so I can't just spin it the other way and it'll close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use both pencils just so that way you guys can kind of see the difference between both of them. Honestly, I do like the Brow Boss a little bit better because it gives me more of that natural look, but if you want something more dramatic, then the Precision Brow Pencil is the way to go. And they're both $5. So I do like that it has a little spoolie on it. So I'm going to start off by defining my brows with the Precision Brow Pencil. So this is a little bit darker. And they're very, very creamy and pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. When I used it the first time, it was so, so intense and dark. So I'm just using it to outline my brows. So then I'm going to go ahead and use the Brow Boss pencil. And like I said, I like this one because it's retractable, and this one is a little drier. I'm going to use that to fill in the brows. You don't have to use both of them. I just wanted to use both of them for today's video just to show you both. So then I'm going to use the little spoolie. As you see, my brows are really intense. So I'm going to use a little spoolie to kind of brush everything out. So then I'm going to use one of their holiday palettes. This one is the All I See Is Magic. So it looks like this. The holiday packaging is super, super cute. Has 15 shadows, has the names on the back. And this is what it looks like in the inside. It's so, so pretty. Honestly, this is probably one of the most fun palettes that Colourpop has come out with. This has an array of mattes and shimmers, and I feel like it's wearable, but then you still have your pops of color. So I really, really like that about this palette. So I don't have Colourpop brushes, so I'm going to go ahead and use my regular brushes. So I'm going to start off with this shade here, and it's called Go Wish. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my Morphe M533 brush. So then I'm going to go into this shade right here called Teacup, which is a really pretty matte mauve color. And I'm going to take that on my Kylie brush and just put that in my crease and my outer V. So then I'm going to use this really, really pretty color, which is probably what brought my attention the most. And this one right here is called Tinseltown, which is a really pretty berry color. So as you see, that color is super, super pigmented, very pigmented. I'm going to take my Morphe M506 brush and take this shade right here called Something Special, which is a shimmery shade. They don't have a shimmery or a matte brown color, so we'll just use this one to kind of deepen up the crease a little bit. I'm mostly going to focus this on the outer V though. So then I am super, super excited for this product because this is a new product from Colourpop that I wanted to try out. I was kind of hesitant at first, but then once I saw reviews on it, I knew I needed to get it. So these are the Supernova Shadow, and this is in the shade Walk of Fame. So these are some really pretty pigmented, shimmery colors that are kind of like the Stila ones, which I've always wanted, but they're like $24. This was $7. So that's what it looks like right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on my lid right in here and kind of carve out that lid shape. I had to let it dry for a little bit. That's the only thing with this, is it doesn't dry instantly. But now that it's dry, you see it's super, super intense and metallic. So pretty. So I'm going to take this color called Save It For Later, and I'm going to take that on a flat synthetic brush and just apply that right on top, just to really make it pop and to make it blend out better. So then I'm going to take this shade right here called Treat Yourself. And it's this like satin vanilla shade. It's not quite matte, but it's not quite shimmery. So I'm going to use that on a Sonia Kashuk angle brush and just go ahead and highlight my brow bones with it. So as I'm doing this, I noticed that there's a little bit of flaking with putting that eyeshadow on top of the Supernova eyeshadows. So just keep that in mind. So and next what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to use their gel eyeliner. And this is in the shade Swerve. I heard these are really, really dry. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't want to have a hard time using them. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to use some of my Josie Maran Argan Oil. And I'm just going to take one little tiny, like, even if I can do half a drop, just put it in there. And I'm just going to let that spin the top or the container around a little bit. So that way I can emulsify it and make it more creamy. So it's easier for me to use. So I'm not spending like an hour trying to put on gel liner. This is why I don't like gel liner, because it dries out so quick. But they don't have liquid, so this is what I have to work with. So I'm going to use my Crown Brush synthetic eyeliner brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that into the product. A little bit too much of that argan oil, but it's okay. Alright, so you want to make sure that the eyeliner brush is at a nice point, so that way you have more control when you're applying the eyeliner onto your eyes. So even with doing the argan oil, it was still a little hard to do, but I think we got a pretty good wing going on here. I love the way that the wing comes out with my gel liner, but I just hate the consistency of gel because it dries out so quick. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye and hope that it works out. So this eyeliner didn't come out as crisp and good as this one, but it's all good. We'll just act like it never happened. So then I'm going to go ahead and, since Colourpop doesn't have correctors right now, I'm actually going to use one of their liquid lipsticks. This is a peachier one. This one is in the shade Speed Dial. So this is their Ultra Matte. And they're very, very pigmented. So I'm going to just go ahead and put little dots underneath my eyes like that, and I have to do color correction because if not, I feel like my concealer just doesn't look good. So I'm going to go ahead and take my artist brush and just blend that out. Now that I have that nice and blended, I'm going to go ahead and take my concealer and I'm going to start concealing. They don't have foundation, so I'm going to kind of double this up as my foundation. I actually bought a deeper concealer to use as contour because they don't really have contouring powders. They have bronzers, but it's not the same. So this is in the shade Deep 70. So I felt like this was very ashy, but it was still very dark. So we're going to go ahead and do that really quick. That it looked crazy, so all I ended up doing, my camera overheated, so all I ended up doing was just putting the concealer closer to my nose and a little bit on my upper lip, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my artist brush and go ahead and start blending it out. So what I'm going to do is blend out my concealer first underneath my eyes. I usually don't use this much, and then what I'm doing is making sure that the concealer kind of covers up the darker parts, because this darker concealer is very pigmented too, so kind of blending the darker part first. So what I'm doing is just taking the concealer from the sides and blending that forward on my face. And then I'm going to use the bigger brush to blend out that middle line. And that's going to make sure everything on my nose blended in nicely. So the one thing that I'm going to kind of cheat with a little tiny bit is powder. They don't have translucent powder, and the only powders they have are their bronzers, which would make me look crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this Essence All About Matte setting powder, and I'm just gonna set my face really quick. This concealer does sit down pretty nicely, but I always do this because one, I'm oily in my T-zone especially, and because I feel like putting any powder product on top isn't gonna make it as like blotchy. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use blush and highlight duo. I think it's more like a bronzer and highlight duo. So I'm just gonna use this part here, and I'm gonna accentuate the contour. Oh, this is in the shade Double Play, by the way. So then what I wanted to do was use something that is original to Colourpop, or it's one of like their first things that they came out with, which is the Super Shock Cheek. So I'm going to use the shade Swift, which is a blush color. Looks like this. And I'm going to go ahead and use that on my synthetic brush. I find that synthetic brushes work best. This one is from Creme. And then for highlighter, I'm going to use one of their best sellers, and it's also like a cult favorite. And this is in the shade Wisp, their Super Shock Cheek highlighter. So it looks like that. And I'm taking that on my highlighting brush as usual. It is kind of hard to apply it with a brush. To get the most pigmentation out of it, use your fingers. A little bit on the tip of my nose. So I'm going to go back into my All I See Is Magic palette. I'm going to take my Morphe M506 brush and just grab a little bit of Imperial, which is this matte orangey shade, and use that to smoke out my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go into this little pencil brush and go into the shade Top Notch, which is this matte brown color here. So then I'm going to use one of the shades, and I was so excited it was in this palette because I wanted to get it. So then I'm going to go ahead and use this shade right here called Now and Zen, which is this really, really pretty, just, it looks white and boring, but when you swatch it, it's like this really pretty iridescent white that has this green gold reflex. It's so pretty. I don't think the camera's really picking it up. We're going to use that in our inner corner. Colourpop also doesn't have mascara, so I'm just going to use my Tarte Gifted mascara, which is my favorite mascara right now. Probably should have done this first, but whatever. I'm going to go ahead and use the priming setting, or the setting spray, the Aquamarine setting spray. So it's the same thing. And since I switched out the nozzle on this one too, because it was the same thing. And this one is the dewy one. So this one actually smells like grapefruit. The other one smelled like cucumbers. Then I'm going to go ahead and use the Lippy Priming Pencil, Lippy Priming Stick. I don't know what it's called. I love using this for the ultra matte lips because it makes... Ooh. I love using this for the ultra matte lips because it makes your lips super, super soft. And it gets rid of any like of those lines. And my lips need hydration. So then I'm going to go ahead and use the Colourpop Lippy Pencil, and this is in the shade BFF3. The thing I hate about this is after you start sharpening it, then you guys can see that it starts coming out of the pencil. So you have to push it in. So it already has that nice sticky base for the lips, which is what I like the most. I really do find that the primer does help. It's better than the lip balm because it has that stickiness. So when you put the lipstick on top, it smooths out all your lines and it stays on. So then I'm going to use from the holiday line as well. This is called Take a Pixie. Look how pretty this packaging is. This is an ultra matte lip. Have it upside down. Has this really pretty cursive handwriting on it. And it's gold. So I really like this color a lot. I used it one time already. And I do feel like they have changed the formula on their ultra matte lips, so they're a lot creamier. I'm gonna show you guys a close-up of my lips so you guys can see. Look how smooth that looks. And that's how my lips were chapped. This is it, guys. This is my full face using Colourpop only makeup besides two things. Overall, I just wanted to give like really quick thoughts on everything. Brows, like I said, I like the Brow Boss pencil better than the Precision Brow Pencil because it's a little bit more natural looking. Their eyeshadows are phenomenal. Their concealers are amazing. If you're on the website, if you're a MAC shade, I would probably look at the swatches there and probably go 4 shades lighter, basically, is what I picked out on the website, and it was my perfect match because they do oxidize, and you can see I have it all over my face and it doesn't really look that much lighter than the rest of my skin. Like, it looks like my foundation shade. Darker concealers are very nice too. They're very creamy. I love the concealers, love the eyeshadows. The eyeliner I would probably skip out on. I didn't really like it that much. Even using my argan oil, it was still really hard to work with. Their Super Shock formula, it's nice. It's more natural. I don't really like the Super Shock formula that much. I know I like their shadows. I do like the Super Shock shadows, but the blushes and highlights, they're not my favorite. They do give a nice natural glow and blush effect to the skin. So if you like that, then I definitely would pick these up. They're pressed blushes and bronzers and all that stuff. The one that comes in the little duo, I definitely love. Very pigmented. They glide on nice. Their lippy pencils are amazing. Their lippy sticks are amazing. The lippy stick primer is a necessity if you use their ultra matte lips or if you use any matte lipstick. This is a necessity. $5, guys. Their liquid lipsticks are my favorites. It's probably what got me hooked onto Colourpop in the first place. The primer and the setting spray, I like the formula of them. I don't like the spritzer on it. So if you have a different spritzer or if you have a different bottle, change it out and put it in there. It does bring 1.86 ounces, almost 2 ounces for $8, which is pretty good considering that I paid $4 for my 1 ounce of e.l.f. Supernova eyeshadow. I like it. Don't put shadow on top because it will get flaky. But other than that, very, very pretty. And I think that's pretty much it. That's all the Colourpop makeup that we used today. Definitely check them out, guys, if you guys haven't. I will leave a list down below all of the products that I used today and kind of put whether if I recommend it or not. So that way you guys can kind of go off of that. Of course, these are my opinions. Some people might like the things that I don't recommend, and that's okay. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys want to see me do a full face using one brand again, please let me know. I am thinking of doing a high-end one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, if you have any requests, leave them down below, and if you guys haven't already, please make sure you guys do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you guys know when my new videos come out. And as soon as I get my BoxyCharm box in, you guys know I'm going to be doing a try-on version of my unboxing, which is a little bit different because the last 2 times I've done it differently. So this time I'm going to try this out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then.